Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. And would love to kick off this Women in AI Canada Hackathon 2025. So I would love to start with our experience as co-organizers. This moment is really me, Larry, and other teammates. This moment is exactly what we have been waiting for. Very special to us, and we have been preparing for weeks, lining up speakers, mentors, sessions to make sure you know, not have only like you just don't end up building amazing solutions, but you also grow as innovators. Now, this hackathon isn't just about competition. It's about collaboration, about forming micro teams and learning from workshops, from expert speakers, mentors, creating AI that drives social good, inclusivity, sustainability, and public health. So I'm already excited, and I know that the energy will only build from here. So now allow me to introduce the head of North America Y and principal data scientist Francie to share insights about why Canada programs and community.
Thank you so much, Preeti. Welcome, everyone. This is such an exciting time for us. Hackathon has been one of our greatest programs since the beginning of our Canadian chapter. I'm so excited that we are here today. Preeti and Lahri has put together such an amazing event, and there is a lot of hard work that went behind the scenes to get to bring all of you together and to build such a well structured themes and speaking topics and speakers like Raji to all of you. So, my task here is to just give you a quick peek into the Women AI community so that as you are being part of Hackathon program, you can understand and also learn what other programs you can be part of and get the most benefits out of it. So, Women in AI is a nonprofit global community of AI professionals, and our goal is to increase female participation in AI. And we do that through a series of programs and events across the globe to inspire, educate, and connect women AI professionals. In 2017, three female AI trailblazers, you can say, came together and built this community, and it started in Paris. And overnight, it kind of blew up, and now we have members from 150 countries and close to 20,000 members, registered members. But we have a very large following on social media. Combined all of our pages, more than 100,000, and we have a highly intelligent community. Next slide. So I'm very proud about our Canadian team. We launched in 2020 and we started with 6 team members, and now we have over 60 plus volunteers. I was very fortunate to be the initial ambassador for Canada, and over 6 years, we have kind of grew this community to now 1,400 members. We have a large following. We have done more than 100 events. Today, our Canadian ambassador, Nami Sriharan, she's not with us on this call. She's away on leave right at the moment, but she's a significant support and part of our team, and you will get to know her a little bit later. But outside of Hackathon, we have many other programs that we can offer. We have offered, and you can be part of, which is under Inspire, Educate, and Connect vertical. So under Inspire, we do programs that bring or celebrate women or bring thought leaders together. So we have a Women in AI Summit, we have a Women in AI Awards program, and we just did 2025 in June in Toronto. It was an amazing event, brought together 300 AI passionate individuals, and also celebrated 170 women AI leaders across women and allies across North America. We have a mini conference wise symposium we have a member spotlight program. Under Educate, hackathon is a significant initiative we have. Then we have individual master classes throughout the year. We do technical workshops. We have career coaching. We have programs under Responsible AI, as well as a research lab program where we train individuals, or we give opportunities for individuals to do some research or applied AI programs. Also have Connect, where one-on-one mentorship program is offered. So this year, the first cohort is already launched. The mentorship program has been running for again 4 years now, and it's divided into three groups. And it's a highly successful program. We also have in-person career fair across 4 provinces: Ontario, um, Montreal, Quebec, Calgary, and also Vancouver. So it is also another event where we attract a lot of audience and community members to come together. So we bring together um, companies, we bring together talent, and they have the chance to network with each other. So with that, I hope I'll get to see some of you in our future events as well. So all the best. My advice to all of you is to use this opportunity to the best as possible, because we have seen that the winners or finalists, or those who have really taken this hackathon seriously, have landed into like very good job opportunities. We had one startup coming out of this last year. So please make sure you put your sincere efforts and your thoughts into the hackathon, and go through all the sessions, go through all the mentorship, make use of your mentors really well, and come up with a very good project on your final hackathon. This is going to really help you, bring a good start to your career. So I hand it over to Preeti now for the remaining. Thank you.
Thank you, Francie, a lot. So we'll dive into all the nitty-gritty details of how the hackathon will run a little later in this session. And before we kickstart our sessions, I would love to introduce you to our team. This is the team behind the scenes, and it will grow even more in future. That's what we wish for, right? We all enjoyed the weekly sprints. We bring in, as Francie mentioned, we bring in the themes. And I think this is the day that our efforts shine in when we see you here. You will see some of the members throughout the sessions, and others as the hackathon progresses. Feel free to reach out to us for any questions through Discord, or through the live sessions when there is Q&A session, or just on LinkedIn. And with that, it's my honor to introduce now our first expert speaker, Raji. Raji is an AI and automation advisor with deep experience guiding enterprises to scale their technology in reliable and impactful ways. In addition to her advisory work, she's also an angel investor and educator, passionate about empowering the next generation of AI leaders. Now, she brings not just technical expertise, but also a strategic and human centered approach to advancing AI adoption. Over to you, Raji.
Excellent work, what you guys are doing. I'm so proud to be a speaker here. Thank you for that warm introduction, Preeti, Francie. Amazing work. Looking at the history of what women in AI, especially in Canada, have done, I'm pleased. I'm moved. We need more people, especially women in AI, to make this world more sustainable and diverse and equitable. Excellent. So let me just go ahead and start sharing my screen. So myself, Raji, I hope you're all able to see my screen. Just maybe if you're not, great. So myself, Raji, I'm so proud to be the speaker. I'm guessing I'm the first speaker in the series. So I must say I'm blessed. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So today we are actually going to jump into a really wonderful topic, probably not very well appreciated topic, which is generative AI powered workflow automation using one of the tool called Langflow. It's a very easy, business friendly approach, pretty much a no code approach is what we are doing here. All right, so let's jump in. I'm in a meeting, sorry. So why we need more women in AI? So especially in today's industry, if you look at how the enterprises are operating, we need more women, especially in the AI. The reason is we don't want all these AI models to actually be biased and built with lots of blind spots, pretty much like catering to one particular gender or one particular ethnicity or one particular set of group of people, right? So just to give you some perspective around the numbers, in today's global workforce, around specifically in the AI, if you look at 26 to 30% of the workforce is women, representation of women is there, but that significantly drops almost to like 16%, which is less than 50% of what we see in the curve as it reaches the leadership roles. So we need more women leadership to take such decisions on, like, where the investments has to go and what kind of systems needs to be built, and how it can actually benefit overall the economy and the industry as a whole. So what it can actually do to the industry and the economy, right? So we, according to the industry studies, there is a 12 trillion opportunity that lies in unlocking the potential of economic growth. We can actually achieve that kind of an economic growth if we get more women into the AI leadership. So where we are, we see there is a huge need and huge gap, as well as like huge opportunity that is lying in our table. And I'm so glad you all are actually instrumental in this opportunity to move the needle in the right direction. Okay, so congratulations, you are all here. So let's jump into some of the very fundamental perspective and the shift that we are seeing today. Chatbot versus generative AI workflows. We have seen, and we are all using ChatGPT and other large language model for everyday use. So I cannot see the comments or anything, but just give me a wave or in something. How many of you are using ChatGPT or Perplexity or any kind of AI tools for your everyday life? Okay. And how many of you are using for your general work? When I say work, when it comes to your um, business or office or your enterprise level tasks, how many of you are using AI to simplify your day job in a productivity from a productivity standpoint? Okay, so yes, that's great. So we are seeing some significant increase in the enterprise and the business and the day job as well. That's great. And what is happening in this area is there is a concept of shadow AI, which we use AI, which is not authorized to be used in the enterprise landscape. That's called shadow AI. But then the real productivity is not there either in chatbot or in shadow AI or elsewhere. It lies there in the generative AI workflows. So any kind of a work where humans were actually driving and doing on a daily basis can be completely automated using task specific executions using the power of large language model. So any um, payments or any kind of refunds or any kind of a procurement you want to make. So everything can be made simplified using workflow based automation. But whereas the chats are specifically just responding to your questions. They are just not acting on anything, right? So the power of large language models combined with agents is there in the action. So reflect, act, and complete the tasks, right? That's where the real power exists today. So with this knowledge and with this information, let's jump in and see how do we actually approach this. I know you all are here for the hackathon. So basically, from my learning and my enterprise experience, where do you start? Let's go through some ground rules on how do you jump into and execute a hackathon in a successful way. So start with the right problem statement, which is very important. And if you are having if you have first-hand experienced that problem, then that's much more impactful and you will be able to relate it. If you have not experienced that problem personally yourself, I would suggest to go through that. That's something like a design thinking exercise. Go over and find out the right problem statement. And the second step is balancing the complexity, right? So you really don't have to build an end-to-end complete solution to uncover the actual potential, right? So you need to find out what is the nugget or the minimum viable product that you have to build to showcase and prove value. So maybe the value lies only in a simple and small scope, right? I can talk about some of the failure stories in implementing generative AI completely, like McDonald's implemented complete automated ordering, or there are other retail vendors who have actually automated in the similar way as well. But the customers did not like it. They were not happy that they were not able to talk to the agents directly. So you don't have to completely automate. Find a balance, what works and what doesn't work. Otherwise, you are actually not solving the real problem. And then technical challenges are the overwhelm, right? You don't need a whole lot of complete technical solutions to prove the value. Proving the value can be done in a most simplest way possible. And then you have to measure the success. When I say measure the success, what was the savings? What was the value that it added? So using these ground rules, find the right problem statement and have these matrices identified. So let's jump in and drill down a little bit more and see how we talk about, right? How do you choose? How do you choose the use cases, right? So the use cases can be grounded with the value framework. Whether this use case, implementing this use case, doesn't have to just result in a fancy outcome, right? Whether it is actually going to save my time, or is it a repeated task and the humans doesn't want to do it, and what are the pain points that I'm solving. And sometimes it could be a simple problem statement that you're solving, but it could be a major pain point. Nobody wants to do that, right? So it could be that way. And then how scalable your solution can actually be done, right? Implemented. So if it is just a very small portion of the industry problem that you're solving, it's not going to be actually giving you a better results. Yeah. So make sure that you are actually picking up a problem statement that is scalable, right? So if you're thinking through from a startup standpoint, this MVP or the hackathon is going to become a startup idea, then what is your target addressable market and what is a global addressable market, right? So you will have to look into a scalable solution that can actually address a larger problem statement in the perspective area. Okay, great. So now I talked about what are the different grounding scenarios that is needed, right? So in this three-step process, as part of this use case identification, I just listed out few productivity use case that are currently in trend, right? So you might have heard about this problem statement, which is like retrieval augmented generation. So most of this retrieval augmented generation is like what it actually does is about email triaging is a use case, content summarization or data extraction from multiple documents. All these are like around the retrieval augmented generation, right? But then the same concept is being applied in multiple places, and the value that you are actually deriving is what matters end of the day. and the technology can actually be applied in multiple places to reap the benefit. So these are some of the productivity use cases that you can think through where I see is being in trend, right? So I did not include some of these use cases like code assistance, right? So that's a another different productivity use case, but that is actually just addressing only the developer community. And this is something I'm listing out only based on the uh, industry standpoint. Like, if you want to build a product that can be consumed by a particular set of users, and like, improve the productivity, and you want to make it as a marketable product, so then that think through in that kind of a aspect and see where is the gap, white space, and fill that out. Okay. And next in the topic is the design considerations. So this will more align in terms of with the scalability as well. But then when you are actually identifying a problem statement and identified the white space, the next step is to actually how are you going to go ahead and build the product, right? So you will have to keep in mind few pillars and align to the considerations here. So number one is like the user experience, and second is the safety and trust. This is non-negotiable. So you will have to find out your non-negotiables, because the first step is to actually get you will be able to get the users to like sign up for the product and try the product. But the second step it's going to win them only after you prove that it is actually safe and trust. So the first step, like, get them into the put in the door, and then second step, build the trust so that they start relying on it and they buy it, or like, they buy in, you get the buy in there. And the third is performance. So the performance is really important. The moment they buy, the consideration of, like, cost comes into picture, and scalability comes into picture, how many users comes into picture, right? So you'll have to keep in mind like how you are defining your solution, that it still be economical and you are able to sell it, right? So you can build a solution, but if it's going to use endless number of tokens, and you're not taking the token usage into consideration in your large language model consumption, that's not going to make your customer happy. And if you're going to charge your customer based on the token consumption or any specific way, not based on the per user license, and if you're just charging them per user license, then you are actually losing money. You're letting them use how much ever you want, right? So those are certain consideration you will have to keep in mind to scale as you go further. And at the same time, what is the problem that they are solving? There needs to be some correlation, right? I cannot be just running a RAG use case for a smaller company and terabytes of data. That doesn't make any sense economically, right? So you will have to find what the economic sense and the users ability to consume that product, as well as like build for trust and user experience. Yeah. And then fourth point is reusable components and modify and swap the models, right? So because how many of you know that when last version of the ChatGPT, when it came, like a lot of them are not happy. People who have built the applications on the products on the previous version, and then like suddenly ChatGPT deprecated the older version, a lot of them like raised, and Sam Altman has to come out and make a statement. Uh, okay, so we will bring it back. We are not going to deprecate that older version, right, immediately. So yeah, so these things happen when you are actually applying a large language model in your solution. So you have to be really mindful about change. Okay, so next, here's the core important topic for today, which is some of the open source tools and frameworks. So Langflow, LangChain, Flowwise, Llama Index, all these are different open source tools. And today we are actually going to talk about more on Langflow. So what is Langflow and why Langflow? Langflow is a visual AI builder, and you can build complex LLM workflows without writing extensive detailed code. And it has an amazing visual interface and a pre-built component like available, and which has rich set of library which you can use, and you can do fast prototyping, and you can quickly build it and deploy it and export it as an API and call it in from elsewhere as well. So that's a quick intro about Langflow. Let's jump into the demo of it, right? So before jumping into the demo, so I want to just show you. So how can you go and look into Langflow? Just go to langflow.org, and that's the website where you can actually see more about Langflow. And it's been considered and used by a lot of large enterprise customers use this in today's world. If you can see, there are tons of connectors and tools that are available, pre-built and available to use. And you can go to download and download this directly. It can work both on Windows and Mac machine. So it's a cool tool, and you have lots of resources and community available to support you. And the official document is pretty neat, and you can use them to learn and experiment. And you can also use the Langflow MCP server and client to connect to your tools into MCP server as well. So that's the quick overview about Langflow. Let's jump into the Langflow demo. So I hope you're all able to see my screen. So this is the Langflow interface. You see the components, different components. We have agents, models, and data, all these components, and also the bundles which you have seen, you see here, these are the different connectors. So let's say you want to use DeepSeek, you will be able to use DeepSeek connectors, or Google connectors. You will be able to like use Google APIs, drag and drop, and use them in your workflows. So let's say I'll just drag and drop this, and so you can see you can just punch in the Google API key and readily use it right away here. Okay, so I'm going to go back. So this is a quick workflow, which basically I use to build my um, blogs. So this is a blog writer for a personalized blog writer for me in my own style. And I have provided the instructions here. Am I audible? Any?
Raji, there is a question. We see the Langflow docs, but not the other screen that you're trying to share. You're showing if you're showing two at a time.
Oh, okay. I am showing other screen. Let me share it again. Can you see the Langflow now?
Yep.
Yes, we're able to see
Excellent.
the Langflow. Yeah.
Excellent. So this is the Langflow interface. So, and these are the different connectors that you see here. Yeah, I was showing you. So let's say DeepSeek, you see here, and Google. So you can actually use the Google APIs, just drag and drop. You'll be able to start using the Google APIs right away. So now let me just go ahead and show you what this flow does. So this is the blog writer. So let's say I want to actually create a blog on a specific topic. So I just want to know how many of you are Formula One or Ferrari fans. Raise your hands if you like, if there are any Ferrari fans here. Okay, great. I see some hands. And let's go ahead and write a blog post about history of Ferrari. Okay, so what I have done is I've picked up a couple of URLs, whichever I wanted to um, be the source. So this is my source grounding information. I can share additional URLs as well. So now these URLs are considered as my source, and the data is available in these websites or in this URL. This blog will be parsed, and together I have given my instructions. prompt. So this is my prompt where I am giving an instruction. Hey, I am going to write this and post it in a Substack. If you don't know Substack, Substack is a newsletter platform. Again, it's open source, so free of cost. So if you don't have a Substack, go ahead and start one. Okay. And this is the structure in which I want my post or like the blog post should be. And here is my topic. And the topic is history of Ferrari. Okay, so I am giving my prompt, which is essentially like a system prompt, and also the text to be pulled for analyzing and summarization. And here I'm actually using a Google's language model. If you don't know, you can actually get this Google, go to Google AI Studio and create an account and go to API keys and generate an API key. You can hit create API key and create an API key, and it's free of cost. And then you can copy this and come back to Langflow and punch in your Google. You will have to connect your Google account and punch in your Google API key. So with that, that's it. Simple, right? So those are the five steps I did, and I'm generating the output, which basically takes the source and parses and also applies the prompt and generates the response as a chat output. So let's go ahead and run this and see. So I've already run this just before the session. Today, I'm going to run it again. But you know the nature of the large language model. They are not going to generate the same content once again. It's going to be always slightly different. So that's I expected as such from the large language model. Okay, so here's a blog post that it has actually generated on Ferrari. And you can also see it has actually given me a final a crux of, hey, here is your, if you want to take it and post it in somewhere else in Instagram or LinkedIn and provide link to this blog post, here is the quick summary of social media update you can take. So it has given a really nice overview here. So as expected, there is something issue. So the flow did not run. So sorry, it failed. But then you can see how the overall approach it works. Yeah, okay, I exceeded the quota. Okay, that's the challenge. All right, so but you understand the approach, what we are going with, right? So you provide a very simple input, and then you are able to generate the output in a seamless way. And the third pillar, we are jumping into the third pillar. So we identify the problem statement, and then we find out the use case, and then second, we are building it for scalability. And the third is like what matters most, right? So you can build an amazing product in the world, but you have to answer a question, which is, so what? So what? What about this product, right? So ask yourself this question every single time when you are completing this sprint. So what, right? So if you're able to convince yourself and a friend of you who is ready to act like a customer and you're able to handle the objection, then you're good. So let's see how some of the ways you can actually ground yourself for what matters the most. So the clear problem statement and demonstration architectural view, these are the three pillars, which is important. And the fourth one is the value and impact and the limitations. So we need to educate the customers and the users, like, what is the limitation of the generative AI solution that you are building, and what it can do and it cannot do, when to use and when not to use, and how to use. That's really important. We need to provide that overview to them. And what matters, right? Typically, you can prove this by using metrics. So number one section, the business metrics and the user impact metrics is one way of actually proving that your solution is helping them. And the second metric, or the second approach of proving the metric, is the performance metric of your own large language model. As I said, the large language models comes with its own limitations. So you will have to measure the limitations, how effectively your large language model is performing against your problem statement, right? If you are generating a summary, how effective the summary is against the expected output. If you are actually providing an outcome as a recommendation, how is it performing against the expectation? So you need to come up with your evaluation metrics. You might have heard about eval and evaluation metrics. And there are different types of evaluation metrics like blue, um, rouge, etc. So, but then you need to come up with what matters and what is relevant to your use case and figure that out from there. Right. So that's the metrics on what kind of metrics you need to think through and do it, right? So these are the three pillars. The takeaway is like choose the use case wisely, always have the design consideration, and the third is like what matters most. Pretty much it is the metrics matters most, and what kind of metrics matter most. One from the business standpoint, and the second thing is from the financial and the like ethics and limitation standpoint. You will have to align it. I'll take a pause here. We'll stop for Q&A now.
Thanks, Razi. That this was amazing. I'm pretty sure it will help everybody build their solutions, keeping all the matrices in mind and being impactful and relevant at the same time. Now, everybody, you can choose to unmute yourselves and say your question, or you could just type it in the chat, and that we'll take it from there.
Okay.
I have one question, Raji. So within this Langflow tool, do we have like a user interface that we can build on top of it? Like, can Langflow be the backend and can we
Yes.
like create like an application?
You can have like applications like Streamlit as your interface and call these as a invoke the APIs and get the results as an output.
Okay. So like if it's like an edge device also, it's only through API that that this Langflow would work.
So API is one of the popular way of actually integrating these sort of workflow solutions. Uh, I'm not familiar with the edge scenarios, but
It's
then
like a
edge.
mobile application. Actually, there is one person asking the same question. Can we implement Langflow or put another platform, say an app?
Yeah, that is quite possible. Yes, you can do that.
And the recommended way is through APIs.
Yes. And
Perfect.
if you remember the documentation that I showed, if you go back, if you go to the documentation, you will see the steps to actually integrate using the APIs.
Right. Thank you. We have next question from Iris. Iris, do you want to unmute yourselves?
Yeah. Hi, Raji. Thank you so much for the presentation. And since you mentioned the Landflows, I have a question about the since like we have a lot of different tools we can use for example like Landflow, RenChain, and also like NAN, etc. Do you have any recommendation like which one to be used in what kind of cases? Because it's quite a lot.
Yes, you will have to do that analysis at the design stage, right? So the step 2, that's where you need to pick and choose what you want to use based on the business use case. So let's say you are building a major retrieval augmented generation as a core fundamental use case, then you can actually look at LangChain as a major, like it's going to be agent and your set of documents, and you don't have a lot of interlying workflows, right? So you don't have workflows, then probably LangChain would be a better scenario. But if you have many workflows and you have multiple in connection points, then it makes sense to actually go with tools like N8N or Langflow, etc. Yeah, but based on my experience that I'm seeing in the industry, the productivity gain is massive when you're actually doing something in workflow space.
Okay, makes sense. And also like to one point you mentioned, like the prototype, etc. So in terms of the prototype and the like MVP or production level, the like may I know like what would be the anything that we should pay attention to?
Especially the cost, the token usage, how what kind of models, right? So even that matters. So that's the reason a lot of people who are really mindful about the cost may not go for sophisticated models, and they go for open source like Mr. Llama, or we have lots of other open source options, right? So go for that.
Okay, that's
And one more thing that I see in the Canadian industry is the um, data sovereignty. Yes, that comes into a scenario when you are talking to any regulated industries.
okay. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank
Good
you,
luck, Iris.
Razi. There's one more question in chat by Gautar. In terms of hallucination matrices, what evaluations are we checking? Can you provide an example, please?
For hallucinations, the accuracy, the content relevancy is one metric that we can evaluate. And again, like, you will have to pick and choose uh, based on the use case. So, see, the hallucination is a very broader word, right? So you will have to like prompt for edge scenarios, provide multi-shot prompt tuning to avoid the hallucinations, and then ground the expected responses, and then evaluate the expected responses against the grounded one to see if there is any deviation. That's how you measure it. And how do you fine tune it is like basically go back and tune the prompts in such a way that, hey, when such questions comes out, like this should be your answer, right? So you will go back and update your system prompt then.
Okay, so
Um,
checking against the ground truth remains the top choice, I guess.
yes.
Okay, thanks. Another question is, can you please give a little more information about MCP you mentioned and some use case?
So MCP stands for the Model Context Protocol. So what was happening 6 months back was we were all trying to actually build multiple tools and multiple agents and bundling it together and teaching the agents to call which tools when certain prompts are entered, or when certain particular input is encountered by the agents. So what was happening is it was becoming unmanageable. So what happened was, like, MCP, imagine it's like a box. You're putting all your tools into and agents into the box, and then letting that box decide when to call what, so that the agent that is consuming this MCP server doesn't have to worry about it. So that's what is happening, and MCP is still evolving, and we see a massive recognition towards, okay, yes, this is going to simplify my work of like explaining every single time when to do what. So I'm happy with this kind of a approach we see in the market trend, and yeah, so things are evolving, and I see that it's going in the right direction.
Thanks for that. Another question by Hanaya is, based on your experience, which I'm not sure. Okay.
Which step?
Which step?
Which step? Yeah, we talked about 3 steps. So step 1, 2, and 3. So it's very easy to go until MVP. So that's what I would say. So if you know about the MIT study, 95% of the Gen AI investment is actually not hitting the production. This was published a couple of months back. It's mind-blowing number, and only 5% is reaching the production. So I don't have to tell the answer. Like the answer is like taking it to production is the most difficult part, and then like what challenges that comes along with it and is unbelievably hard, and people are still learning and tuning and getting there.
Perfect. I think you nailed it. Awesome. We'll take one more question. And thank you. Thank you for the question. Yeah, we'll take one more question, and if not, then I think this is the session with Raji be concluded, and we'll move on to the next steps for hackathon.
Hey, perfect. So I left my LinkedIn in the chat. Stay connected, and my best wishes to each one of you. Wish you all the best. And as I said, like, this is an opportunity to actually close the gender gap and see more women in the workforce, AI workforce, and AI leadership as well. And thank you so much for the opportunity again, Preeni and Krisni, and everyone, the whole Women in AI Canada team. Wish you all the best. Great work.
Thank you so much,
Over to
Raji.
you.
It means a lot, and yeah, I'm pretty sure we all learned it, and we'll learn from recordings too. And if there are any questions, is it okay if we reach out to you on LinkedIn later?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah. And with that, I will move on with our next agenda for the day. Before I do that, I'm posting a couple of links in the chat. So congratulations, you have been part of the first session of this hackathon journey, and now let's start where to start from. Well, you already started, and next step could be, while I see that most of you are already set up your Discord account, you have updated your team's names and team announcements, but that's something that if you haven't already done, we encourage you to do. Please announce your team, and do a quick team calls if you can. Connect with your teammates, choose a team name, post it in the hashtag announce your team name channel in Discord, and have Zoom installed, or you can use the web version of Zoom, whichever you like, you prefer, your team prefers. We would recommend adding your team's name to your Zoom display so that we know, we can keep a track, and we could see your participation. This just helps everyone know who is who during these sessions, and just these simple steps, they ensure that you are connected and ready to hit the ground running. And now, we did share the hackathon schedule in emails with you, and we have got this packed journey ahead. We started today with the workshop on Agentic AI, and over the next few weeks, you'll go through the design thinking, prototyping with Gen AI, responsible AI, branding your MVP, and pitching practices. And then on November 7th, you'll all come together for the final presentations and closing ceremony. So think of this schedule as the supporting path, as the guided path for you from idea to building and to pitching. So each step is designed to sharpen your skills and get you hackathon ready. So I'm not going through date by date because we already shared it with you. But this is what you already got in email. If not, you can always let us know in Discord, and we'll post it there. Actually, we did post the schedule there too. Other than this, each team has already been paired with mentors. These mentors are not for individuals within a team. The mentors are supposed to be for the team itself, not for individuals. And they're not really there to give you very, very pointed answers always, because it's you who is building the solution, but they are there to guide you by asking the right questions, by challenging your ideas, and helping you sharpen both your tech and impact. So Yeah, so you have a guidance there, right? The best industry practices, that's what they would discuss with you. Now, to keep everything running smoothly, we are using these three key platforms: Discord, Zoom, and email. I did share the Discord and the email address in chat. You all have, by now, you have the invitation, Zoom link invitation in your emails, or your calendars are already being blocked. So please go through them. There are 4 mentorship sessions. It would be amazing for you to join them with your mentors. Now, so just keep an eye on Discord. If there would be any announcement, or if you want to ask any questions, you can always put in there. You can also learn from other people's questions or discussions in Discord if they are posting it publicly. Now, I think with the hackathon, this is the question that all of us have, that what's the presentation format like and how would the judging go? So here's what you need to know about your final presentations on November 7th. You need to submit your submit your slide decks by November 5th, 4 p.m. EST. You'll present virtually via Zoom. We'll gather like we gathered today. And each team has 10 minutes to present, followed by 5 minutes of Q&A with judges. Now, judges will evaluate your projects on social impact, design and implementation, technical complexity, creativity, and responsible AI. Now, these criteria align with real-world AI practices as well. So think of this as a training for pitching your idea to investors or partners. And as Princey mentioned in the beginning, we did see one startup last year. And previous to that, I think in 2023 hackathon, we saw a couple of amazing projects. And you all have potential to actually get investors. So why not start, working towards it from now? So now, as we, sorry, I already covered that. So yeah, as we wrap up today's orientation, I want to say again that I'm super excited. Lahari, the other co-organizer, and other teammates, today they were not able to join, but you'll see them in future sessions with you. And I'm excited to see all of you here. We are celebrating the entire team, and with that, I would say that it's about building connections, learning from mentors, making AI more inclusive. And we have shared this experience package and mentorship packages with you as you're participating. So